We can and we will defeat them. It is up to you, but please. And again, I get blindsided. I knew this was Sorosian, but I wanted to try to be positive about protesting Wall Street, and I was watching the libertarian groups get pushed aside, and the Patriot groups, and the Tea Party groups, and I confirmed with our reporters and others that basically there's hissing Democrats there that kick everybody out and lead everything, and then this isn't a populist movement. This is a Soros movement. We've got to energize everybody to go up against the bankers. They're the ones that launch the wars. If you Democrats out there want the same old, then go to your things and follow your chants and call for higher taxes. But if you want to wake up and break your mental change, now's the time. Same thing to mainline Rush Limbaugh listeners and Glenn Beck viewers and people. It is time for you to really get sophisticated. This isn't sophisticated. It's sophisticated next to the mindlessness they feed you. But it's time to figure out exactly what's going on. It's time to figure out exactly what we are facing. Are you surfing the web on the same video package you're using? Huh?
At the moment, it's still working. We got audio.
Hey, is it still working on your end whenever he searches stuff over here or watches video? But is it making it get choppy when we check stuff on the web? Yeah, it is. It is. Definitely. We're just testing stuff. What we'll have to do is whenever we're on the road, we'll use whoever's local wireless. Or can't we get somebody else's network? Can't we get 2 4G cards to where I can surf the web while I'm on air?
That's what that smartphone idea was behind.
Well, we better get one.
Yeah.
Better get one fast. Because I know we have 2 other smartphones, but they're already in the field. One of them just went to New York.
We'll get what we need.
Our reporters are in the field. The revolution is here. Will you let Soros and Al Gore and the Rothschilds and Obama and the neocons co-opt this awakening, or will we get the word out and expose the fact that socialism and communism on the grassroots is a funding mechanism to the offshore above the law fascists who use it as a way to suck all of our wealth into themselves? And they dangle that number of, look at the super elite. 2% have got, 80% of the money. Get that guy with $100,000 a year. Because they know poor people think a person making $100,000 a year is the elite. We're talking about people that have stolen trillions. We're talking about people that get hundreds of billions in bailout money apiece. People that are exempt from laws. People whose wealth is secret, like the British and Dutch crown, who call for carbon taxes. Wake up. Stop being conned. I know it's fun for the left to hate anybody with money and anybody who's free market. But you're not going to get your communist utopia. It's banker run. They funded the Soviets, for God's sakes. They funded Hitler. You can see them. You can see them launching a total takeover of society. And they're going to, pretty soon, the welfare checks and the 50 million people on food stamps, you're still going to get your food stamps. It's just not going to buy the food anymore because the Federal Reserve is devaluing the money. And instead, they're going to go out and burn down middle-class neighborhoods. You watch. And the government's going to say, see, raise taxes. And they're going to burn down middle-class neighborhoods. That's what people have been taught to do instead of going after the Federal Reserve. And the Federal Reserve knows they're the enemy. They know they're the people that run the society through fraud. That's why you go to a big Federal Reserve office, they have battlements around them. Here's another thing. I'm tempted to go to the Kansas City Fed. That's the one where Aaron Dykes and Rob Jacobson were at. That's the one that Herman Cain was the head of it. He said on the old boards, he said, just call them. Go visit the Federal Reserve. They're your friend. Really, my guys were a half-mile away videotaping them, and they came with guns off their jurisdiction, security guards, and threatened my guys with guns. Color of law, like road warrior, just lawlessness to leave. I think I'm going to go to the Kansas City Fed. And I guess come on out there in your black uniforms and point your guns at me. I'm sick of it. You're the ones that want violence. You're the ones that send the army out to our events because you know that we know you're the real and illegitimate government. And we're sick of it. You want to bankrupt our country. You want to bring in our world government. I know a lot of you lefties will take the cowardly way out. You'll just go protest capitalism and go protest your boss or something, or go protest somebody who's, got sandals that are nicer than yours. And all you Republicans like the easy way. You'll just say Wall Street's perfect and the Federal Reserve's good, and you'll mix it all together and defend all the crony capitalism and the robbing and the thieving that went on under Bush. And if you don't wake up to all this, you're going to lose everything. If you don't wake up, you're going to lose everything. Do you understand me? It's time to wake up. It's time to go up against the Federal Reserve. It's time to occupy Wall Street. It's time to occupy the people that control Wall Street. So instead of just going to some distant thing and sitting there having New York thug gangster cops beat you up or direct, they made them, this is confirmed, off of the sidewalk, and they made them block the highway because they were told to. The New York cops were told to put them in the highway. That way it gives them massive attention because they want that Soros group to get the attention. We need to occupy the controllers of Wall Street, the people that are using the banker bailouts and the Wall Street bailouts to bankrupt this nation. We need to arrest the banker heads, the people that have stolen trillions. We need to claw back the trillions of dollars. We need to, it's just incredible. Again, you mainline conservatives say, cut Social Security, get rid of welfare and all this. But you never want to say get rid of the banker welfare or cut the defense spending. You don't ever want to go after the real issues. You're just as bad as the moron hippies. I'll tell you something. The good news is hippie-type folks are waking up, and so are mainline conservatives. And I've been ranting here for over an hour now. I am angry. I am focused. I can see the move they're engaged in. It's very simple. I'm going to say it again. Get this out to everybody you know. The globalists through Google and other systems can track mass movements. They admit they can do this. They knew the country was on the edge of revolution. They knew that 3.5 years ago, so they put Obama in as a stalling technique. Then they could also play racial division once people criticize his policies, which were globalist. You criticize Bush, white people defending, thinking, well, he's our white guy, he must be good. Texans defending. Same thing. Obama gets in, well, black folks, well, we don't like him, but we still better defend him, he's black. So they put him in to stall people. The country was on the edge of revolution, like KRS-One says in the Obama deception. Then they put in a black man. They put a black face in the New World Order. Now everybody that was like this is like this, sitting back. And now they're going to come in and say, oh, yeah, it's free market. Raise the taxes. Raise the taxes. What are the bankers calling for 100% of the time? The mega bankers, the big six, are calling for the VAT, the carbon taxes, the sales taxes on the middle class and everybody. The exact same things the university funded, which are banker funded, fools, useful idiots are doing. So you Republicans better grow up and get smart, and so should you so-called liberals. The bankers, the global oligarchs are funding the Occupy Wall Street group, at least the group that's organized and getting the attention. You understand that? We have to go after the real group. We have to go after the power structure. We have to go after the New World Order. We have to identify that it isn't the free market and it isn't people that give folks jobs and invest in America. It's the globalists that shut down our industry and shipped our jobs overseas and gave us a Federal Reserve and got rid of the Glass-Steagall and screwed us to the wall. It's the New World Order. And what's at the head of the New World Order? The Federal Reserve. That's the problem. That's what has to be dealt with. And until that's dealt with, there's no future. Do you got it? Do you understand me? There's no more time to screw around, folks. The Republic's going down. Now, I took 2 weeks to analyze this, even though I knew what it was 2 weeks ago. I wanted to make sure. They're going for broke right now. They're giving this fire total oxygen because they want it to go crazy. They're calling it the revolution. This isn't the revolution. This is co-opted crap to turn America into a communist state run by offshore banks that suck the money out. You've been warned, ladies and gentlemen. I know history's happening right now. We're not going to let the bankers flip this to a collectivist state to steal our money while they're exempt offshore. We're going to get out there and hit as many Federal Reserve offices as we can with the truth. We're going to try to get media attention. We need your help. Get the press releases out. Get the buzz going on Twitter, Facebook. Get this video out to everybody. We're not going to be diverted with a decoy of Wall Street and free market and capitalism. It was all insider crony capitalist garbage that did this, the opposite of free market. The big banksters are pushing all the socialism to steal your money and to collectivize you so you can't start a business and ever crawl up so you can be a peon down in the dirt. All over the world, the globalists use people being poor and poverty to control people so they live in dirt streets with sewage running down the road. The globalist, 2 years ago at Copenhagen, they told the third world, we're going to give you all the West money, sign on to it. But they said, sign the treaty before reading it. They finally got a copy, and it was right at double the taxes on people making $2 a day or less. Right at double, just not quite double. Double the taxes. It was at a death sentence for 1 billion people. That's your liberalism. You people aren't liberal. These are all just terms and names. You think the Nazis are going to show back up in uniforms and little mustaches? They're going to show up going, I'm liberal, I'm trendy. They're going to show up with a bunch of right-wing scum as well. This is 21st century full-spectrum dominance. Just like the Pentagon funds Al-Qaeda and Israel funds it as well, so the British. So they can then have the enemy. The Al-Qaeda boss is CIA. And the low-level poor guy blowing himself up doesn't even know it. That is how they operate. That is how they get this done. That is what they're doing. They don't want us to march on them. They want us to march on each other and destroy what's left of a free market and wealth in this country. You like globalism? You like socialism? You like big government? Has it been better for you? They got a bunch of dirty leg hippies out there telling everybody that that's the answer and blaming free market. When we left the free market, when this country had somewhat of a free market, we had 10% growth rates on average from the 1780s until 1913. Look it up. We've had a 3% growth rate since then with massive annual inflation. So we haven't had any growth at all. Since the 60s, the middle class has been disappearing. I want the banker coup to end, and I've actually identified them. They're masters at disguise, masters at camouflage, masters at distracting you. You want to march on Wall Street? We need to march on their masters. We need to march on the insiders, the crony people, the monopoly men. All right, I'm done ranting. Coming up in less than 1 hour, we got a rebroadcast. Some of it's never before heard. Some of it's from the InfoWars Nightly News. We did a big fluoride report that was so good Friday, and I'm not sure if Jaron's going to have that on there because I just sprung that on him to put it into the rebroadcast. We got quite a rebroadcast lined up for you, 4 to 6 p.m., and then back tomorrow live, 11 a.m. Central. I'll be here. Obviously, I'm sweating because in the RV, we got to turn the AC off, and I've been on for over an hour, and it's about 9 degrees outside. So I'm starting to cook in here. We're going after the real enemy. I know I keep repeating it. You got to get this out to people. It's not Wall Street and capitalism. It's insiders. It's the big 6 mega banks. They've gotten $27 trillion conservatively. $16.5 trillion was secret. We just learned about it a few months ago. $16+ trillion. The entire GDP isn't even near that every year. My God, that's bigger than the entire budget deficit. This isn't money we owe. We'd be in milk and honey. We have parasites sitting on top of us. It's time to take our republic back and to take our world back. The very same banks that rule us are the ones that rule third world countries and that rule Europe. They're the same ones setting up a financial dictatorship there. They're just calling it outright austerity there and saying they're going to take everything from the Germans. My God. Will Soros and Al Gore and the Rothschilds and all this scum beat us again? They might, because they've got the controlled right that'll play the part of opposition and never tell their audience what's really going on. They'll put on this whole show like they're fighting with each other. Not me. I'm risking my life, folks. But we don't have any future if we don't beat these people. The Fed says they're surveilling all their, quote, enemies. They say they're worried. Well, they better be worried. Okay. I'll see you back live tomorrow, 11 a.m. The retransmission's coming up. And great job to the crew that's up there on Sunday. And again, pray for us driving back on the road, and pray for a hedge of protection up around our entire crew, because what we're doing is going right up against the enemy toe-to-toe. Pray for us. Get the word out about what we're doing. It's Occupy the Fed. It's in the Fed. It is Expose the Fed. Get the information at Infowars.com. Get this video when it's posted. Get it out to everybody. I'm Alex Jones signing off. The rest is up to you.
Hide and seek, I plan over, I should